Exercise 3, page 62. A hidden world of wonders. Near Kraków in southern Poland is the Wieliczka salt mine. Not much can be seen above the surface, but visitors are taken down into a hidden world of natural and man-made wonders. According to a 700-year-old legend, a princess called the Blessed Kinga threw her ring into a salt mine at Marmaros in Hungary. While traveling from Marmaros to Kraków, she stopped at Wieliczka, and her servants were told to dig a well. Instead of water, salt was discovered, and in the first lump of salt which was taken out, Kinga's ring was found. The legend is just a story, but it is true that for over 7 centuries salt has been mined from the rock below the town of Wieliczka. The salt used to be dug out by hand, and until 1620 it was carried up to the surface by the miners. After that date, horses were used to carry the salt out. But the work was still very dangerous, and many miners were killed or injured. The constant danger made the miners deeply religious, and chapels were constructed underground where church services were held. After a chapel was destroyed by fire in 1697, miners were not allowed to take wooden statues into the mine, so they began to carve sculptures from rock salt. Nowadays, visitors are shown how salt was mined long ago and can see the enormous chambers which have been dug out of the solid rock. They can also see pretty green lakes and chapels with beautiful carvings. There are also 250 kilometers of tunnels and underground caves with huge salt crystals in strange shapes. A special attraction is the Chapel of the Blessed Kinga, which was made by the miners themselves in a chamber 100 meters underground. The walls and floor of the chapel, as well as the lovely statues it contains, have been carved from rock salt. You will be amazed by these unforgettable sights, which should definitely not be missed by any visitor to the Kraków area.
So the question here was, if the statement presented to you from 1 to number 5 are true or false. If true, write or print T. If false, write down F. If you need to listen again, listen again. But we're going to move to another one. To next question. Remember, if you listen to audio, if you watch the video, pay attention to construction of sentences, pay attention to expressions, and pay attention to prepositions of the verbs, because we're going to exercise almost since previous units on every unit. That is a wonderful exercise for you to be able to be a good writer and a good speaker. Okay, so I leave it to you, complete this part and take a note if you have any question or an important note, log and learn for the future time. Okay, let's move to the next page, page number 63. And in page number 63, let's look at the exercise here. In page number 63, you're supposed to read the article. You listen to the article just now and read the article and match the sentences. Okay, let's see. A to C. Match the sentences A to C to the gaps 1 to 3, then explain the words in bold. Okay, the matching task is on your side, but let's look at the article and try to explain, understand the words. Okay, let's look at it. Instead of reading, I'm going to play the audio again and trying to understand, and then after finishing this you have time to match the sentence and the statements together. Listen again one more time.
Unit 9, A World of Wonders. Exercise 3, page 62. A Hidden World of Wonders. Near Kraków in southern Poland is the Wieliczka salt mine. Not much can be seen above the surface, but visitors are taken down into a hidden world of natural and man-made wonders.
Okay, we have natural wonders, we have man-made wonders, who are made by human, and those who are not made by human.
According to a 700-year-old legend, a princess called the Blessed Kinga threw her ring into a salt mine at Marmaros in Hungary. While traveling from Marmaros to Kraków, she stopped at Wieliczka, and her servants were told to dig a well. Instead of water, salt was discovered, and in the first lump of salt which was...
Okay, what is lump? Piece of something, piece of an object that is irregular in terms of shape. So piece of something, lump of gold, lump of any solid or firm. So solid or firm piece of something with irregular shape, that is lump.
Taken out, Kinga's ring was found. The legend is just a story, but it is true that for over 7 centuries salt has been mined from the rock below the town of Wieliczka.
So mine is a place that people dig into the ground to take gold out, to take salt out, to take valuable or precious metals out, or stones, jewel, or other things. And the miner is a person who works there. So we have miner.
The salt used to be dug out by hand, and until 1620,
Dig, dug.
it was carried up to the surface by the miners. After that date, horses were used to carry the salt out. But the work was still very dangerous, and many miners were killed or injured. The constant danger made the miners deeply religious, and chapels were constructed underground.
Chapel is a small church or a small room for the worship of God in Christianity,
where church services were held. After a chapel was destroyed by fire in 1697, miners were not allowed to take wooden statues into the mine.
Okay, statue is work of art, and it's carved from objects that carved from stone, from wood, and other.
So they began to carve sculptures from rock salt.
And they carve to remove material and make objects out of wood or stone or others.
Nowadays, visitors are shown how salt was mined long ago and can see the enormous chambers which have been dug out of the solid rock.
Okay, chamber. It's possible to translate chamber as a hall for public gathering. And it was a little bit tricky question at the start. Previous page you had a chamber was a big hall or a room or a big room. Here we don't have actually big hall in a mine under the ground. So the right answer is a big room.
They can also see pretty green lakes and chapels with beautiful carvings. There are also 250 kilometers of tunnels and underground caves with huge salt crystals in strange shapes. A special attraction is the Chapel of the Blessed Kinga, which was made by the miners themselves in a chamber 100 meters underground. The walls and floor of the chapel, as well as the lovely statues it contains, have been carved from rock salt. You will be amazed by these unforgettable sights, which should definitely not be missed by any visitor to the Kraków area.
Okay, just remember, sight has got many different meanings. ability to see, and the thing you see and hear beautiful places is the better meaning for sight, unforgettable sight. Okay, so you need to read this part again, this article, try to understand more words if you have difficulty, and do the matching. Okay, so this is part of your classwork. Remember, you need to do classwork. Once you sit and watch the video, and you need to do homework at a time you don't have video, like a weekend time. So these are classwork. Okay, so let's move to another one. Another part from page number 63. And it's about a world of wonders. We talk about beautiful places, whether man-made or natural. Okay. You probably need to answer the question as well. So okay, here I'll leave it to you. Answer the question from number 1 to 7. You need to focus on the reading, and remember, if the words are difficult, log out, take a note, and try to revive the words time after time. Okay, so we're going to the part which is interesting, and is under the title of language development. Okay, in this part, you need to fill in the words from the list of words, and then make sentences using the completed phrases. Okay, you're going to complete these parts and then making sentences on your own. Do this exercise and then look at it as a grammar. These are very important part to build up your strong communication skills and your writing ability. Okay, here. Sorry. Look at the list. We start with dig, and the next church, and then deeply, and hidden, salt, solid, special, and the next one is carve, and a lump, unforgettable. We're trying to come up with a solution for each expression. How about number 9? Just decide to go for number 9. To a well. What is it? To dig a well. Well done. How about number 7? Attraction. What attraction? A church attraction? No. Deeper attraction? No. Hidden attraction? Probably salt? No. Solid? No. Special attraction. That is the best solution. Special attraction. How about number, for example, number 1. Let's go to number 1. Number 1. A blank word. A hidden word. Okay. How about number 2? Religious. Choose one word to combine with religious to make a wonderful combination or a wonderful expression. Well done. Deeply religious. How about number 3? We have services. And what could be a good combination for this part? Church services. Yes. Well done. Number 4. Rock. Salt rock. We heard of it. And how about number 5? Of salt. A blank of salt. A lump of salt. Number 6. Crystals. Solid crystals. Solid crystals. How about number 7? We did it. Special attraction. Number 8. To carve. Sculpture. Sculpture is a statue. Listen more. The object that is made from a material by carving, but removing the material, usually from a surface. Okay. Or outer layer. How about number 9? To dig a well. And number 10. well done, unforgettable sights. Okay, so you need to practice on these expressions to make sure that you won't forget. Let's move to another one. Exercise number 6. In exercise number 6, you need to fill in the opposites from the list. Okay, sounds to be easy. I think so. For you, I know. Ugly is the first one. Safe is the second one. Bold, ordinary, man-made, and tiny. Okay, let's try to work out. Natural. What is the opposite of natural? Yes, bang on, man-made. What is the opposite of dangerous? Safe, well done. What is the opposite of enormous? Okay, I'll leave it to you for about 10 seconds. Enormous, beautiful, strange, amazed. You have about 10 seconds and you need to find out of the opposites of these words. These words are presented in this question from number 3 to number 6 and you need to find the opposite. Okay, time's up. Remember, always consider about a minute for the questions that come in the form of this simple exercise right now. That is the standard. Whether you see that IELTS, whether you see that state exam in Mongolia. So remember, if it's not writing, spend about a minute time. If you cannot compete the race, you need to have more exercise. Okay, the opposite of enormous, tiny. The opposite of beautiful, ugly. The opposite of strange, ordinary. And amazed, bold. Okay, so in this exercise we completed the opposite. The first one was to form expressions or combine words, you need to remember. And the third one is fill in the correct prepositions. Prepositions are the words that comes with the verb and to give direction, location, place, up, down, left, right, above, below, under, at, in, out, of. All of them are prepositions. Then make sentence. Okay, I'm afraid we cannot do that. We cannot make sentences here, but you can do it because it could be a good practice for you to remember and form up a good understanding of exercise. Okay, so number 7. Blank southern Poland. Number 2. Number 3, number 4 to number 7. You take about 25 seconds to 30 seconds to complete this part. Your time is starting right now. Just remember, the thing that makes me a little bit concerned is the time. I don't want to make this audio so long. That's why I want to move to the important parts and keep it as short, as brief as possible, so you can cope with the information presented and feel comfortable and not having rush. Okay, let's try to complete it together. Number 1, in southern Poland. Okay, number 2, above the surface could be, and to travel from to, and to stop at. Number 4, to carve something from. Number 6, for, yes. Number 7, she threw her ring into. Okay. Let's go to the another one, exercise number. Speaking part. You practice this part in your own, please, and it is sort of exercise you need to read it out yourself. Don't think that is practice is not necessary for you to give you practice and ability to speak quickly, faster, easier, and better, articulate, whatever. So read this part, speaking out yourself, and complete this part. Let's go to another one. Another part is sorry, I need to move it out. Okay, another part is grammar. Okay, so remember, for the online program, grammar is part of our work together. We're going to the grammar part as well. Was simple and easy. I try to complete the questions, some of them for you. So here we want to look at the grammar part. Look at the table. On the left side is written active, and you've got questions. On the right side is passive. What is active? Active is a sentence in grammar that you have subject, and the subject is important for us, and we think of subject as a major or important part. So we focus on the subject and look at here the question or the statement. They take visitors down into a hidden world. They is our subject. This is normal or ordinary sentences, which is called active in grammar. We start with subject, and subject is major part, important. Somehow we focus or we pay attention to this. So that's why we start the subject. And then we have here visitor, which is object. And object comes in the middle of a sentence as usual. SVO is a structure, usual structure. S is subject, V is a verb, and O is object. So SVO. Now look at the right side. The title is passive. We don't want to focus on subjects. So what we do? We want to know more about action and object. So we bring object to the start. Visitors. Visitors, object of our sentence, comes here, and then we form some combination of tenses, and we go further to the end of sentence. Look at here. Visitors are taken down into a hidden world. So the important thing is this. If we have a passive sentence, we start with object. The object of our active sentence comes first, and we form something out of this. So remember, in passive, this part is past participle. We need it in all passive tenses. Here on the left, we have simple present. Here we have passive form out of be verb, am is are, plus past participle. Look at the second one. Again, important thing is to target object, bring the object at the start. But on the left side, we have simple past carried, simple past sentence. The object is was there, was or were, was for singular, plus again past participle. At the start, salt is object. That's what salt is here. Look at here. The miners carried salt. Yes, the miners are subject, carried past simple verb, and salt is object. Object comes at start. Was or where, I said was here because salt is singular noun, and then carried up to the, but look at here, to the surface by the miners. The miners were our subject here in the active sentence, comes at the start with or preceded by. This is called agent. So agent, which is mentioned here, the miners, the subject that is not so important, that we do not focus, that comes at the end of a sentence. In a passive sentence, we call it an agent. So here, by plus an agent, which is subject of our sentence earlier. Now, look at the next one. They have mind. This tense is present perfect. In order to form a passive, has or have, here has, plus been plus past participle. So every passive tenses got past participle. Look at the next one. Even simple future, will plus verb, will plus be past participle. Okay. So here, the grammar is about passive and active tenses. It depends on your active tense, simple present, simple past, present perfect, past perfect. In a passive form, all of them has got a combination which is based on past participle of the verb. Look at here. In active form, the sentence is fire destroyed a chapel in 1657. So the fire is subject, and this is active because subject is at the start of a sentence. Fire is subject, the verb destroyed, simple past, and our object is a chapel. In order to form a passive, we bring object at the start, a chapel. You see, the object of our active sentence comes here and acts as subject of our passive, a chapel, and here simple past, so was plus past participle, was destroyed, and our agent, why? The fire in 1697, not 57, sorry, 97, I made a mistake because of eyesight. Okay, now look at this part. Let's see if you have interesting exercise here. Read the text on page 63 again and underline the verbs in the passive, then complete the table. Okay, I leave it to you. Example is done. I leave it to you. I want to focus on the part that probably sounds to be more difficult, challenging, and complicated. Okay, go to exercise number, the next one, part B, or exercise number 10. Fill in a missing active and passive forms. Okay, that's a good one. Let's try some of them. Number 1, pay attention. On the left column, active sentences, and on the right, passive equivalent to this active one. Number 1, pollution has badly damaged the Sphinx. The Sphinx is an ancient statue of a human head on a lion body. Okay, so Sphinx is that. Now look at here. The Sphinx has damage, remember, has damage is present perfect. The Sphinx has been badly damaged, has been badly damaged, the first one. Look at number 2. Visitors should not touch the exhibits, the objects in an exhibition or show. Those are exhibits. Now, take about 10 seconds or 5 seconds and complete this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time's up. Okay, look here. On the left side, visitors should not touch the exhibits. The exhibits are objects. The exhibits should not be touched. Should not be touched. Modal verb needs be plus past participle. Will go, will do. These are modal or future simple modal. If you have modal verb like should, could, add be at past participle. Okay, so here the exhibits should not be touched by visitors. Visitors, agent. How about number 3? Look at number 3. The ancient Egyptians, the pyramids, we have passive form. The pyramids were built by the ancient Egyptians. Take about 5 seconds and complete number 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time's up. Okay, the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids. Here we have simple past, here we have were or was plus past participle. Go for number 4. Millions of tourists will visit Louvre in Odisha. Louvre is a famous museum and art gallery in Paris. Okay, take about 5 seconds again. Your time starting right now. Change the active sentence in the question 4 into the passive on the right side. Okay, the Louvre. First, millions of tourists will visit the Louvre this year. The Louvre will be visited by millions of tourists this year. Will be visited. Go for number 5. Number 5. Gustav Eiffel designed a huge iron tower for Paris. Take about 5 seconds and complete. A huge iron tower. Okay. Was designed for Paris by Gustav Eiffel. Okay. I think, let me see, I need the rest of this part to you. Complete this part. Pay attention to structure of active and passive parts. And look at this part. We've got practice for you. Exercise number 11, the same page in pairs. Ask and answer the questions and using the example probably here. Okay. The question, the made of, let me see, okay. What are these shoes made? The question but passive. The made of leather. Again, another question. Where were they made? They were made in Italy. Every question answered in passive form. What is this ring made of? Okay. So I want you to pay attention to these parts and form question, auto, all situational prompts here, and write it on your notebook. Remember, for the purpose of video, you need classwork. You need to do the classwork and send it back to me. You have some files posted for you that is starting with CW classwork, and you need another sort of files that start with HM homework. You need to complete both of them. Okay. So here to you. Let's look back. We started in this page, Unit 9. We talk about Word of Wonders, and second page we talk about salt mine. We completed some sort of expressions. We filled in expressions and prepositions for the verb and compressions and expressions, sorry, and try to understand the words and phrases here. Then we move to grammar part. Grammar part is about active and passive form. Active and passive form can occur in every tense, whether simple present, present perfect, present continuous, or others. And then we did sort of exercise on related parts here. And let's flip through the pages and see how many pages are there in this unit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think 3 pages for the next session. I want to keep this video as short as possible. So this brings us to the end of our class today. Thank you for joining me, and stay in touch. Have a wonderful time. Goodbye.